Max, hit that error rate sign. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout.
Fine.
Monday Morning Fallout, of course, when we overreact to everything from the football weekend. Max, how do you feel about overreacting today?
Look, I am never the overreactor, but I am here to talk about overreacting.
Let's do
if
it.
That makes sense.
Let's overreact. Three
Okay.
big thoughts from the
Okay.
weekend. Week 1 proved it.
Yeah.
Thought number 1 is proved it.
Okay.
There were a number of teams that we didn't know about that maybe had a good record, but we were still had major questions about.
Sure.
The 2 for me that spring to mind or the 3 to me that
There's
spring
3.
to mind.
Yeah, I was going to say there's 3. Yeah.
South Lake Carroll is one of them.
Yeah.
They play Euless Trinity, and they beat them. And that is we had questions about them because they're arguably their best game was their loss to Tulsa Union.
Right.
But then since then they beat, Arlington Martin, who's 1-3, and Rockwall, who's 1-3, and then I think they beat Flower Mound, who's like 1-3.
Right.
Like it's like beating teams that aren't these world beaters.
Yeah.
Well, they go up and play Trinity, and I'll tell you that they looked great.
Yeah.
The offensive line for them was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was really, really impressive. And I'm still not sold on them as a state title contender, but I am absolutely sold on them as being a threat. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, look, we've had this conversation before. I think we've reached a point now where it really feels like 6A Division I, 8 to 10 teams could win this thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to enter the play. It's going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be great. I think every coach for like 8 to 10 teams can sit there and go, guys, we have a shot at this. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to be able to include a lot of interesting teams in that conversation. And I think in 6AD2, there's going to be like 3 or 4 actual teams, top-heavy, that can make a run at it. And I think South Lake Carroll's in either conversation. So
I think you're right. That's where I'm at with them. Another team that, to me, proved it, A-Leaf Taylor.
Yeah, they're
so
putting together a
A-Leaf
nice
Taylor.
little season.
A-Leaf Taylor was 5-0, and we got them at some point 5-0. I start really considering, regardless of it. That's when I'm like, all right, maybe you got something.
Maybe you got something.
Nobody accidents their way into 5-0.
That's
right.
Fair. That's fair.
But they were going up against Pearland.
Yeah.
And I'm going, all right, Pearland. This is probably where it ends. I think that Pearland's a great team, and they're an elite. They're a team that's proved themselves as being a very good team. I think this is where it ends for A-Leaf Taylor. And they put on, and I understand that there's going to be some asterisks about this because Pearland's basically playing with like a punter as their quarterback at this point.
Yeah.
But that's an
great
emphatic
program.
win and a great defensive effort from A-Leaf Taylor, and they end up getting that win. Who was your third one? I'm interested if we have the same one.
Well, I think there's 2. Proved it is weird, but
for these
I
two
just
teams.
think emphatically Iraan is a terrifying team right now.
Iraan's super terrifying.
They're coming, man.
You could go with Iraan or Cameron Yeo. Those are the two for
those
me.
two,
That these
for
two teams have proved it. There's little doubt about it.
I think we came into I don't think anyone's been more aboard the hype train for Iraan than us since the summer. Since talking to Coach Mark Kierhoff over the summer, I have felt like they have it. Offensive line play in particular, just in the trenches for a 2AD2 team is extremely impressive. The kind of quality, depth, size you don't usually see at that level. So, but to see them go 37-27 over Sonora, that's
at Sonora.
That's a
super impressive
exclamation
win.
point.
The other one's
we're good. We're really good.
The other one's Cameron Yeo that went on the road and snapped Franklin's 20-game home winning streak.
Yeah.
Really impressive win, and Zach Andrus and company really put on a show. Defense, but I mean that's what Franklin's going to do to you.
Right.
Really impressive by those three. Thought number 2, panic time. Is it panic time for the Texas Longhorns?
Well, whether you or I decide it. It already is.
It
is. Everyone else has already decided it is time to panic. And I don't know that I'm surprised because of the way this has all gone over the last couple of years, but I am a little I do think it's a little ridiculous.
Sure.
To have people leaking that he's done after this year before all this stuff is happening and they haven't even played Oklahoma yet. Like, if they go into Oklahoma and they play just as badly on defense as they have here and they end up losing to Oklahoma, you know what? Fair game. But at the same time, you and I came into this season thinking 7 or 8 wins would be enough, right?
I thought the magic number was 8.
You thought the magic number was 8, and I thought even 7. 7, 8, he'd be okay. Well, I still feel like that's completely within the realm of possibility.
For me, the problem for Texas isn't what they've done. It's not the results. It's the red flags that are around it.
I get
that.
For
basically,
sure.
everyone except UTEP, they've given up 47 points.
Right. Yeah, no, it's
that
terrible.
ain't going to fly.
That's terrible.
What's going to happen when they play Tech?
Right.
What's going to happen when they play TCU?
Right.
What's going to happen when they play Oklahoma or Baylor?
And the offense, while it's made a stratospheric leap, it hasn't made a leap to keep up with those teams.
I think we both agree that Oklahoma State's an average Big 12 team, right?
I think even lower of them than you do.
I think they're the 5th best team in the Big 12.
Probably,
5th or 6th. They're right in the middle.
Right.
And Texas just did not look like they had the stomach for the fight.
Right.
And so I wonder if it's panic time. And Mike Parent's apparently at Charlie Strong's press conference.
Yeah,
and it's
which never happens.
We'll get in all. We will be talking about this into perpetuity, but that started this week. And finally, watch the enrollments. And the reason I thought about this was on Friday night. I'm sitting there at Fox Sports Southwest, and Grand Prairie is hanging with South Grand Prairie, and they're beating them.
Okay.
And I'm going, oh my cow, to borrow a phrase from our friend Neil Beasley. Oh my cow. Because if Grand Prairie makes the playoffs, then DeSoto goes Division 1.
Yeah.
And then, if South Grand Prairie doesn't make the playoffs,
right,
DeSoto goes Division 1. And if DeSoto goes Division 1, that seriously impacts their ability to win a state championship.
Sure.
Division 2, I think we think they've got a great shot.
Right.
Division 1's a lot.
It's just the way this year's shaping up. It's the opposite of last year. We felt like Division 2 was much deeper last year, tougher to get through. It's the opposite this year. All the big names are getting slid up into Division 1, bar Steele and Cedar Hill. That's it.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. So those are my 3 big thoughts. 3 helmet stickers. Houston St. Pius quarterback Grant Gunnell, 531 yards and 7 touchdowns passing.
We can make this list every week.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Big numbers for Grant Gunnell. Baylor running back Shock Linwood.
It's basically the reason they won that thing.
I watched that game,
yeah,
stem to stern, and let me tell you, Baylor did not play well enough to win for about 45 minutes with the exception of one dude, and that was Shock Linwood.
Right.
Shock Linwood gave them a chance to win.
Right.
He helped them hang around in a game where they had no business hanging around in.
Yeah.
They were getting smoked
for sure
by Iowa State. And if you want to talk about red flags, there's some red flags. But they get the win, and 500 helmet stickers to Shock Linwood. He won that game for them.
Yeah.
And 237 yards rushing, by the way.
Yeah.
And Fort Worth Southwest's Greg Mims. Have you seen this line?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty good.
4 carries.
Just 4.
120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stop there, and it's an incredible line.
Incredible. Yeah.
5 catches, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to do some quick math here.
Yeah.
That means that he averaged, he averaged 36 yards a touch.
A touch, yeah.
Holy cow, Greg Mims, Fort Worth Southwest.
Not bad.
3 teams to watch. You mentioned him, Iraan. That win over Sonora.
Here come the Braves,
Super
baby.
duper impressive. Great win for them, and the kind of thing that makes Bremont sit up and take notice, because we've talked about it with Albany the past 2 years. That's kind of Albany trying to beat Bremont at their own game.
Right.
What happens if a team like Iraan that's just going to bully you and just physically bully you takes it? Is that what cracks the Bremont code? We'll find out. Texas A&M Commerce. I want to tease ahead tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
I already booked a guest. Yeah. Coach Colby Carthel is going to be joining us from A&M Commerce. They've got a big game against Midwestern State coming up. And the Lions are a top 10 team in Division II. You want to watch out for them. So watch out and check us out with Coach Carthel tomorrow. And one more team to watch.
Okay.
A-Leaf Taylor. We mentioned me.
Yeah.
We mentioned them. Great win over Pearland. Fantastic win. 3 teams to worry about. ARP. But this is
it's a minor,
It's
right?
a minor thing. So they lose to Elysian Fields. They take their second loss of the year.
I figured they would win it, but
I think Elysian Fields is a really good team.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think maybe there's a little bit of a red flag for ARP defensively, so you want to keep an eye on them. TCU, the defense just isn't as good as we thought it was going to be.
No.
It's just plain and simple. It's just not as good as we thought it was going to be. And it's going to be a problem all year.
And they made yet another comeback, only to lose at the end.
Yep.
Oh.
Too little, too late. Just disappointing. In a game that they were dominating at the beginning.
Yeah.
That was a very weird game that it was like TCU basically won the first 15, 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Then Oklahoma got their wheels back on and looked like the best team in the country for the middle 30.
Yeah.
And then the last 10, TCU tried to make it up and they couldn't.
Yeah.
And Flower Mound Marcus, do you see this?
Yes, I did.
Louisville.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Matt Stepp wrote about it in his 10 Thoughts from the Weekend.
My goodness. Yeah. Great win for Louisville, but Flower Mound Marcus, that's a baffling loss in my opinion. So those are my 3 big thoughts.